Welcome to Gulfstream Park. It is March 21st, 2014. Christina Basanakis here, and I'm joined by Ron Nicoletti.
Hi.
Hi, Ron.
How are you today?
Very good. It's a beautiful day here. Nice light breeze and sunny weather. As always, we're going to have a nice warm day. Doesn't look like we're going to have any showers here, but it's Florida. You never know.
Yeah, you never know. I checked the weather. It's supposed to be like this all weekend long, so we're supposed to have a fast main track firm surf course throughout the day. And of course, unless you're living, like I said yesterday, in Alaska, you don't know about the Rainbow Six carryover, which is really getting great now. It's up to $3.5 million. And of course, with that 10-race card, it starts in the 5th race, and it's just been a lot of fun here because the buzz has been pretty nice.
Yeah, it has been, and have a lot of action here this weekend and heading into Florida Derby week, and that is next Saturday. The stakes on Florida Derby Day, unbelievable. We have 7 stakes on that day, and then there's so much happening heading into that just throughout the week.
Yeah, on Wednesday we got the post position drawing. You have to be here at Gulfstream Park at 11:45 up in 10 Palms. They will draw the horses that are going to run in the Florida Derby, and always an exciting part, and it just sort of kicks off, which is a great weekend. Earlier in the week we have a charity golf tournament, and you can get all the information. They have brochures around the track, and on Wednesday, like I mentioned, we have the post position draw later on in the evening. If you like to play poker, you can play poker with some of the top jockeys in the country, trainers right here in our poker room. And then on Friday, it's a big party here, and it's open to the public. First 6 to 8 is for private party, but from 8 to 10, it's open to the public. You can get to mingle with everybody, and I'm sure we said yesterday, if you see Christina and I, come over and say hello. And it's just what Gulfstream is all about. The week leading up to the Florida Derby, it's a lot of fun.
The
Besalou Stables.
It is certainly, and before we get to that, we go that far down the road. Just a note. Tomorrow, we do have the race. The card is going to be highlighted by the inside information. We do have just a fabulous card here, but something that's going to be happening on track, Ron, and that we're going to be having, there are going to be some tables set up here around Gulfstream Park, is my understanding, and the proceeds, it's going to be for donations for a young girl named Stephanie Schreifer, and she has a form of bone cancer, Ewing sarcoma, and the family has fallen on hard times. She's actually a young girl that goes to school with a couple of jockeys' children, and that's John Velasquez and Jose Santos, and that's how I think it came onto our radar. And her mother also was recently diagnosed with cancer, so the family's fallen on hard times. We're going to have tables here set up at Gulfstream to buy T-shirts and to buy bracelets, and all of the benefits proceeds will go to help the family. We're going to have bracelets for blue bracelets, Love Stephanie, and they're going to be distributed $5 for those. T-shirts are going to be $10, and again, most importantly, all the proceeds are going to go to this family. But we're also going to have people walking around the track and taking donations, and jockey booths. They're going to be collecting money as well. So, folks, I know Ron is going to be giving money. He said that. I'm going to be giving money. And
without a doubt.
Yeah,
what a great cause.
Yeah, we all have to contribute tomorrow.
Yeah, and it'll be a lot of fun. And also, if you get here and you buy a program or a handicapper or a daily race form, you get a big program, the handicapper. You get a glass, a commemorative Besalou Stables Florida Derby glass, and a lot of people collect those, but it's from 12 to 3, so make sure you get here early. You just buy a handicapper or the daily racing form, and you're eligible to get one of those glasses, but make sure you do it early.
Actually, to clarification, it's March 23rd, which is Sunday.
Oh, Sunday. Sorry,
Sunday. Meaning the distribute for Stephanie.
It's Sunday.
It's going to be on Sunday.
Yeah. Saturday's the glasses. Sunday.
We're already handicapping so many days in advance that you know what? I don't even know what day it is anymore, but it is going to be March 23rd, Sunday, Stephanie, and we should all be very generous and donate to that. So that's what's going on this weekend, and before we get too far ahead of ourselves, let's look at today.
Yeah, we got to take care of today. As we mentioned, got that huge Rainbow Six carryover, but fast main track from turf course. Let's go.
All right, so on to the first race on the card. It is a 12.5 claiming event, 7 furlongs on the main track. And we do have a couple of scratches. Number 2, Nowak. Number 5, Tis Liberty. And the jockey change on number 1, and that's Have the Last Word, Juan Leva will be aboard.
Yeah, Edgar Prado will be off all his mounts today. Boy, with those 2 scratches, certainly makes it look really, really nice for number 4. Tappett's Brew moved to the Jamie Nesbon Vita Claim. Dueled with the horse that scratched out of here, Tiz Liberty, last time out. Finished the last half length behind him. Well, he's not in the race today, so trainer Ness, real good with first off the claim. Looks like a pretty good selection here in the first race to start off an early daily double. Early on the board right now at 1 to 5.
And 1 to 5, yeah. It seems to be, it seems where we're both going in that direction, so a lot of folks probably will too. On to the second race on the card. It is a 50,000 maiden claiming event. It is a mile on the turf course. And a jockey change, number 2. Charanga will be ridden by Alex Solis, and this is kicks off the early pick 4. And my top selection in here, I went with number 4, Teeth of the Tiger. And Ron, my only concern with this filly is she doesn't really break that well.
Yeah.
And if you look back at all 3 of her prior starts, dwelt, broke slow, and poor start. So we have a problem.
Well, we're going to get the services of our leading rider, Javier Castellano, so maybe he'll get this horse going. And the drop in competition makes the number 4, Teeth of the Tiger, look like the logical choice in there. I went with the 7, Big and Toasty in second, and the 1, Shakespearean Dream in third.
Yeah, so that's going to be, I think, a pretty competitive race. I also used the Shakespearean Dream in there, and I went with number 8, Flashy Brass. And coming into this off of that forgettable, really dirt attempt, but we're getting back to the turf this time. So I think that's going to help. On to the third race on today's card, and it is a 20,000 claiming event, 1 mile on the main track. And my top choice, wow, I'm hoping you're going to have a good day because it seems like we're right on par here. And that's a number 5, Palatine Hill from the Peter Walder barn, and comes into this, showed speed last time, just got a little leg weary late and just beaten a length. But I really think that this gelding stands out in this group.
Yeah, I mean, that horse had a 6-length lead, and as you mentioned, just got nipped at the wire. It's the son of Roman Ruler. Through the number 2, Sir Edgar on the ticket, stretching out to that 1 mile distance today. If you look at his previous record at that distance, 2 starts, a victory and a third, so likes the 1 mile distance. And that horse finished 4th behind a really classy horse that I know that we both like, and that's Bernie the Maestro. So keen off that race. I think Palatine Hill looks like the logical choice, but I had to put Sir Edgar on my ticket for that reason.
Okay. On to the 4th race on the card, and is a 50,000 claiming event. It is 6 furlongs on the main track. And my top selection in here, I went with number 4, Take Time to Pray. And Javier Castellano gets back aboard this colt after a victory last time. And I think, Ron, my thinking here was this is going to be the controlling speed.
Yeah, he looks like the controlling speed in there, and that's the number 4, Take Time to Pray. And then that's aptly named because the Rainbow Six kicks off in the next race, so it's take time to get a little help. I used the number 5, Trippy Cotton, going to face winners today after rallying along the inside. He defeated a field of maiden special weight runners at the distance, Antonio Sano, Joel Rosario. I just thought that was a horse logical choice, and I see you also had it in your exact ticket. So far, we've been in agreement all day long. I don't know if that's good or bad.
I don't know.
We're on the same page, as they would say.
We're going to find out. We're going to find out today, aren't we? On to the 5th race, and as mentioned earlier, this kicks off the Rainbow Six, and there is a carryover, $3.5 million, and that does start in race 5. A couple of scratches in it's a 20,000 maiden claiming race. 5 furlongs on the turf. Scratch number 7, Jonathan C. And scratch number 8, Soccerholic. And my top selection, wow, Ron, it's like we did our homework together, it looks like. Number 2, So Royal, Lisa Lewis. I just think this filly stands out in this group. In numbers, I don't think anybody else comes close in here.
Yeah, just dropping that another notch on the claiming scale, as you mentioned, as the favorite last time out against $25,000 types. So that little drop of competition certainly looks like the logical choice in there. Also used the 6 as you did. That's classy, turning back to this 5 furlong distance after dueling for the lead, fading, but that was against $25,000 maidens, and they were going 7.5 furlongs. And I've mentioned this a lot. 7.5 furlongs here at Gulfstream Park is a 2-turn turf race, not a one-turn race. So turning back to this abbreviated distance, and we both closed out the try with the 5 Buckingham Gate. So I believe that's 5 races in a row, or 4 of the 5. No, 5 of the 5 that we have the same horse on top, and we don't know this till we get on the air here. So let's see what happens as we go to the next race.
On to the 6th, and the 6th is a 50,000 a maiden claiming race, a mile on the turf course, and we do have a couple of scratches in there. And number 7, Executive Session, and number 10, World Changer, and that race kicks off the pick 5. And my top selection, hey Ron, look, we picked something different.
Oh, there you go.
Okay, so you see difference of opinion here. And I went with number 4, Big Island Boy, getting blinkers on. 3 starts, really, that was a maiden special weight company, so now dropping to this maiden this 50,000 maiden claiming company. And the horses that were running in those last couple of races specifically, I thought were pretty good, and I'm thinking this horse getting away from that company, it'll help.
Yeah, definitely. I went with the number 1, Ringold, as a candidate, I believe, for a rebound performance after following a well-meant second place finish, and that was against $75,000 maidens. That was back on January 23rd. Now come back, runs that poor showing in which he, turned out to be a really strong race. In that race, 4 horses of the 7 have come out and won the next race. So keying off that, I put the number 1, Ringold, on top of my ticket.
Always useful to our man with the key races. You're always with the key races. On to the 7th race on the card. It's a 50,000 maiden claiming event, 6.5 furlongs on the main track, and there's a jockey change in there, and that is a number 4. Pekinisa will be ridden by Joel Rosario, and this kicks off the late pick 4. My top pick, I went with number 1, My Novena, and from the Jose Pinchin barn, and last time was 10th, beaten over 30 lengths. That was made in 75 company. That was also on the turf. I'm hoping getting back to the dirt is going to help this one.
I went with the number 2, probably, who's now in the Todd Pletcher barn, drops to the $50,000 level after following a really sharp maiden special weight win back on October 5th with a 10th place finish, but that was going 5.5 furlongs, and Pletcher's good with the class drops. I just think this horse is a logical choice. But if there's one race on the card where I'm going to go deep in the Rainbow Six, it's this 7th race. I'm going to go with the 2, 5, and also the number 3, Saratoga Karaoke.
Yeah, that was a horse that I was, because I often, you'd have to use Todd's horses, and I just didn't go with probably in there. I just thought with a high-class rider, Dylan Davis. However, I felt like if it was one of those, one of the horses that really had a chance to win, I thought maybe Javier would be on it. So who knows? Maybe I'm reading too much into this, but I think I decided to go in other directions. And as you mentioned, I know you used Fantastic Voyage. I used Saratoga Karaoke as well, and I also used the Pekinisa, Jose Garofalo, first time on the dirt for this filly. She is by Colonel John, and I think that's going to be a favorable move from the turf to the dirt here today. On to the 8th race on the card, and it is a 50,000 claiming race, and it is a mile and a 16th on the a mile 16th on the turf course, and we do have a scratch. Number 5, Manzudi, has been scratched. Number 1, Perfect Tay, will be ridden by Joe Rocco Jr.
Joe Rocco Jr.
And my top selection in here, I went with a number 2, and that's a Monument Hill. And I know that you went in a different direction here. I think you went with number 3, that's Eternal Ruler, who comes into this off of an impressive 5-length victory last time, Ron. We could take a look at that win, and this is the direction. This was a pretty nice win, and I can see why you're back on this guy.
Yeah, the only concern I had, if you watch him coming through the stretch, he does drift out a bit, but I just thought it was a really good performance. Besides that, and you'll see the horse come and just wins a nice win. So I jumped on the bandwagon again. I'm going to use the number 3 today. There it is as the 1, Eternal Rule. So just drifted out in the stretch, you'll see, but not badly. Just and was just cruising under the wire, so used him back again. But I also like the 2 Monument Hill. We talked about this yesterday. I was torn between these two. Monument Hill, certainly a horse for course play.
Yeah, horse for course and likes the distance. And he is an 8-year-old gelding, but he's got a lot of back class and hasn't raced since August when he was 4th, beaten just a length. And that was at Saratoga. So I think he definitely has the class. He has the quality. I think if he gets back to that form, I think he's going to be tough to beat. So I decided I was going to take a bit of a shot with him in here. And number 6, I thought I'd throw him on my ticket, give him another shot. Number 6, Tune Me In. And with Christophe Clement, 9 furlongs last time, the Sunshine Millions turf. That was too far. And I know this horse from Monmouth Park. He's best at a mile, and mile 16th would probably be the extent of it. So I'm looking for him to improve off of that latest effort, also coming back off that layoff. On to the 9th race on the card, and is 62.50 allowance, optional claiming race at 5 furlongs on the turf course. There is a jockey change. Number 3, Free as a Bird, will be ridden by Julien Leparoux. And we're gonna. And I was on this horse last time. I quite liked him, her, last time when she was beaten just a neck. We can take a look at that latest race, and I thought this was a pretty impressive race, and I think that I'm hoping she's gonna come back and get back on track.
And that was after a 5-month layoff, and ran exceptionally well, so you could see
how
she
just closed
like a ton and just didn't get there, but I think she's got a lot of positive upside off that performance. Second off the bench should be right there. She had to steady a little bit too there in the stretch, so that might have cost her, maybe not the victory, but she could have been a little closer. So I'm in total agreement with you with number 3, Free as a Bird.
I know you also use number 5, and that's Perfect Package from the Eddie Police-Barton, who's probably going to be showing speed in here. But we also, number 4, White Sangria, is probably going to show speed as well.
Yeah, he's stepping up the competition after that really monster local score versus $25,000 optional claimers. She drew off to win that race by 3+ lengths. And Tommy Bush just having a fantastic meeting, and it should run well in this spot.
You know, the one horse that was a bit of a question mark to me, Ron, was number 6, My Due Process, Carla Vaccarezza. And this mare hasn't won in since the last couple of years in any case. She hasn't won since 2012. However, she closed off of some pretty fast early fractions last time. If you see the ladies turf sprint here at Gulfstream on February 23rd, she was 3rd, but she had some pretty hot fractions to run at.
Yeah, and if you watched Carla Vaccarezza, who's just starting to train this year, a lot of his horses come from left field. They come running late, so that's his MO so far early in his career.
It certainly is, and he has pretty good numbers thus far. On to the 10th and final race on the card, and it is a starter allowance with a starter allowance and a price of $50,000. Horses that have run for a claiming price of $50,000, a mile and a 16th on the turf course. And we do have a few scratches in there. Number 3, Party Starter. Number 6, Jane's Air. And number 8, Happy Voyage have all been scratched. Jockey change. Number 4, Viva Allegiance. And Mario Pino will be aboard. And I thought a pretty interesting heat, even with those defections. Ron, I think this is a pretty interesting race. I went to the outside, one of the outside horses. That's number 10, Very Playful. And we can have a look at her latest victory. She won by 2 1/4 lengths. And I thought that was a pretty nice race. Now that was 30,000 claiming, and now we're stepping up here, Ron, a little bit tougher company. But I think she ran a pretty nice race.
She did run a nice race. You see, she was in there, and she, there was a little bouncing around going on, but she did get through. And off that performance, you certainly should have her on your final leg of the Rainbow Six ticket. In here, I went. You'll see her cross. So I saw her. I went to the inside in this one with number 2, Aventurine, and I think this one should have those proverbial screws tighten after returning from an 11-month layoff. Duel for the lead, finish a much-needed 5th. It's Todd Fletcher. But also got my long shot in here, and that's the one horse on the inside, getting first-time blinkers. And I think that if this horse can sit a nice either on the lead or just off the lead, can run well at a price. I think it's 10 to 1 on the morning line. So.
You know, 2 points I wanted to make, Ron, before we move away from that race was a couple of horses. Also, Hit Squad came out of that race, and what you were just watching there was the clipping heels, and that was Hit Squad who finished 5th. So she did clip heels in the stretch, and I think so she should move forward and she should improve off of that race. And so that was one to note. And also the filly that I was just talking about, Very Playful. I thought she ran she finished up pretty well. Her ears were pricked, and she seemed to be pretty eager going across the wire. So I think that she had more in reserve.
So we like 7 horses in this race, it sounds like. So just makes the Rainbow Six all that much more fun.
Yeah, we did. Aventurine, with Todd Pletcher, one of those horses you're going to have to use. I thought she ran a pretty decent race. She just got tired late. I think she'll move forward off of that race. But I think there's I don't know. I think I kind of like the horses that we've got going in there. And we'll see the race to finish off or cap the Rainbow Six. But there is that carryover, $3.5 million.
Right. Yeah, and we got the inside information tomorrow.
Inside information. It's going to be a really, really tough race, and I think that's a really good betting race too, because I sat there looking at that race thinking, several times going back and forth between some of those runners. Marty Wolfson, he's got 3 in there, and and all 3 of them are just like really live chances. They have great chances in there. But Ron,
that's it.
I'm going to see you in just a few minutes. We'll be back. And Ron will be back for the rest of the day and join me, and we'll have a lot more fun. And folks, I hope you just stick around and join us.
Hey, the leader. Spectacular Sky second to the inside. Bourbon is third. Golden Mystery has to do much better. Today's not her day. Final furlong. BK, Spectacular Sky. Emma's Encore is gaining on the far outside. And then it's Bourbon, followed by Nakano. But it's BK. All the way in the inside information. Spectacular Sky second. Emma's Encore third. And then